everyone. Allemaal is like everyone in Dutch. Guten Tag, good day in German. Wie geht's dir? How are you? So I'm just going to make a live video telling you that in my opinion it doesn't matter what language you speak. The world is not going to change in a good direction anyway. We are going to be stuck, and there are going to be bigger wars. Sorry. So like it doesn't matter what you are trying to achieve. In the end we are going to lose everything. So like I'm just saying, people are trying to achieve all kinds of things, like buying a house or something, but in the end we have to realize that nature and God is going against everything. Like there are floodings across the world, and other places are completely drying up, like having drought. So all these things, these natural disasters, earthquakes, these all show us that I think God is very unhappy with people, that people are not helping each other, and they hate each other so much that nobody is helping, one another. Um, Again, a Russian bot account asking me who are who are you talking with? Who are you talking with? Well, I'm just like anybody else who makes a live video, talks to, I don't know, whoever is watching this live video. So in this case, you, привет, здравствуйте. Again, a Russian bot account is for, I don't know what makes you feel, again, even the, в Турции интернет не работает хорошо. The internet is not working well in Turkey. As you can see, when I was trying to say something, it has blocked me for a second. It's because even here, Russia has control, It's a great thing. So who are you talking with? Ty s kým говоришь? Sama svoj. Why? Everybody who makes a live video talks to whoever joins the live. So yeah, I know Russians are going to mock me, and you are very unfair because я говорю чуть-чуть по-русски, but I know you all hate me. Вы ненавидите меня. I know that you all hate me. But I don't care because it's your nature, you are very cold people who don't love others. So you don't even love your neighbor. And many Ukrainians can speak, Russian. So it's not like, it's not the same case as, the Middle East issue, like between Palestinian Arabs and Israelis. It's not the same issue. Because, okay, there are some Arabs who can speak Hebrew, but I mean the majority. So anyway, fake comments I receive, but yeah. Removal of evil eye. Again, I receive. Yeah, I know that many of you hate me. I don't even believe any good comments because I know this platform stands for bullying and hatred. That's why again, mocking me with comments like about my eyes. Well, actually, if I tell you that all of us, all humans are evil, if I tell you that all of the humans are evil, I'm not going to lie to you. Because that's why we die. That's why God doesn't want us to live forever, and He is right. Бог прав. Потому что он знает, что люди nie pomagaje drug druga. Bóg znает, God knows, that people don't help each other and they just bully each other, and so therefore, you know, all of the bullying, I don't care if you say I look ugly. I know it's not my choice that I look this way. I was, you know, born, and this is the features I had received from, you know, my parents. So, you know, it's not my fault that I look shit. So, you know, yeah, you can tell me вы некрасивая. You are, you know, not beautiful. I know that I'm not Russian, okay? If you want to take the title that, oh, you know, Russians are the most beautiful people in the world, well, they are just lucky. You know, the genetics, they have good genetics. You know, the blue-eyed, blonde-haired people, they are lucky. I'm not lucky like them. I have gray hair, okay? I'm old. I'm not young like you. Oh, wow, I have gray hair. Oh my God, you see? You see? And now you can tell me, oh, she's old. Yeah, I'm old and ugly. And yeah, it's not my choice. So yeah. Um, you guys are arguing about Ukraine. Ukraina переможе. Ukraine переможе, okay? Well, it deserves, despite everything that, you know, many Ukrainians can speak Russian, it deserves to get back its territories. And Russia doesn't deserve a bigger, you know, place in the world, because it already has the biggest country in the world. It doesn't deserve more land. So whatever is the case, Ukrainians, well, they, you know, they are the minority. So yeah, it's easy to win over, you know, a smaller number of people when you have more people, you know, the population. But it doesn't mean that it's a fair win. It would only be a fair, you know, thing, you know, in the sense, like, you know, if you would say, oh, there's comparatively the same amount of people fighting. Well, they should not fight, but I'm just saying the same amount of people fighting, then it would be, you know, yeah, equal. But when you are talking about a minority fighting the majority, that's a tough case. It's the same about the Middle Eastern topic. Why do I have to talk in Russian, huh? I know that many of my haters. Oh, by the way, are you Armenian? Your name ends with Yan. Barev says, hello. Armenian or just, well, because the surnames, if the surnames end with Yan or Ayan, like I-A-N, then it means that the person is Armenian, you know, like, that's what I think. We is Armeni. So I'm just saying, what I know that many of you put all kinds of hatred on me, no matter what videos I put on my channel. It's you know, this platform is full of hatred, but I wish you know, somebody would just take the chance that, hey, I hate you and I kill you, okay? Like, you know, killing me, because I don't want to suffer much longer in this shit world. I don't want to receive more hatred. You already see I'm getting old and I'm unhappy, because I know that we live in a shit world. You know, unfairness, corruption, and ugly people, you know, in their hearts. I'm saying I'm ugly by the looks, but I'm just saying there are people who, you know, have evil hearts. So anyway, who is from Azerbaijan? Nejasanis? I don't know. So yeah, Azerbaijan is another country that got its brand from, you know, the Soviet Union back then. So basically, they had to learn Russian back then. Им надо учился русский в школе раньше в Азербайджане. They needed to learn Russian in schools in Azerbaijan back then. And my home country, Hungary, too, my mother's generation. My mother's generation, they had to learn Russian as well in school. So Hungary, although it was not part of the Soviet Union, but my mother had to learn some basic Russian in school. And for what? Did it help her to make life better? You know, like she couldn't, she couldn't, you know, it was a bad situation too. It's not better now. I mean, it's, you know, the capitalist system is also not better. Nothing is good. Let me tell you why. Nothing is good. Because every system in the world, capitalist system or, you know, communism or such things, none of them, you know, lead people, all of the people, you know, into a good result. Hello, good afternoon or good morning. Where are you from? Откуда вы? Звідки ти in Ukrainian? Звідки ти or звідки ви? Like, okay, sorry, depending on it. If I say formally, v, like you, or if I say informally, ti. Привет. You are talking to each other. Okay, sorry. I sometimes don't understand, you know, if you send the messages to your other friend on this platform. I don't know how it works. You know, you join a live and then, you know, you talk to each other. Well, okay, you can do that as long as you don't insult each other on this platform in terms of... But anyway, so Russian language was taught in many countries, you know, in the former Soviet republics and in other countries which were not part of the Soviet Union, like Hungary. But I was never, like, you know, when I attended school, Russian was not a language that was available in school. So we no longer learned Russian at all. So that's why я не говорю хорошо по-русски, because it was not taught in schools. Молчать, is it a verb that means, like, you know, silent, be silent? Who are you talking to? Like, are you talking to me to be silent or to somebody else? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm just actually making this live, just, you know, the funny comments that, you know, I receive about my eyes. I look ugly, I look old, I'm this, I'm that, all of the hatred. So what? I was born into this shit world and I had no choice over it, you know. I didn't want to come into this world. I'm not happy, and so what? None of us can choose, you know, if we want to be part of this world or not. Ukraina переможе. Well, I'm praying that somehow Ukraine could, you know, win and get back the territories. But I mean, you know, it's so hard to say, you know, win. Because why? Because it has already incurred many losses, you know, losses of territories and people. So it's a very tough situation. So I don't know why evil is so much adored by people. People adore, you know, they love evil. You know, they say, the majority must be right. It doesn't mean that the majority of people are right. No. Actually, the majority of people can have so much hatred that they destroy the minorities, okay? Just One more time I say it. The majority of people can have hatred so that they would destroy the minorities. And do you understand what I mean? Russia is a bigger country and it has more people and more weapons. So it can really badly hurt its neighbor. So, and it's not a fair thing, you know, it's not something that, you know, anybody should be proud of, no. Military might or just, you know, having more people in your country doesn't make you righteous. If the people in the country don't have love towards their neighbor, then even if they have power, it doesn't mean that they are right. And that's the thing most people don't understand these days. They just follow the crowd. Everybody follows the crowd. Like it must be, oh, the majority says it this way, oh, it must be right. No. It may be a lie. It may be motivated by hatred. You know that, for example, there is propaganda, and so people follow the propaganda, what the majority say. They think it's right. No. So that's the saddening part about nowadays, that people just listen to the majority and they don't care about the minorities. Oh, who cares about the minorities? They don't have power. Oh, well, this attitude is wrong, you know. I'm just saying this should not be, you know, applauded. People should not applaud that when the weaker one is destroyed. It's not something to, you know, clap like, oh, great. No, it's evil. You know, when you destroy the minorities, it's never something to be proud of. And no matter what, even if you disagree with them in some points, like, oh, you think, I don't know, but I mean, Ukrainians can speak Russian. The majority of them. So why do you hate on them? I don't understand. What makes you, you know, feel good that you know, you sometimes mock Ukrainians? Like, I don't know, what makes you good? Actually, the worst thing is that people get to the point when they both hurt each other, both sides. They go on and fight, you know. One hurts the other says something back, and it's never going to end this way. If people are not going to respect each other in any form, basic respect, it's not going to be any better. Let me tell you, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I'm sad that, you know, the situation is like this, because actually, well, Ukraine is losing more money, okay, than Russia. For one thing, Ukrainians cannot use their airspace. So, you know, flights are not operating in Ukraine because Russia keeps sending, you know, missiles and rockets. So, you know, flights, you know, cannot operate in Ukraine. But in Russia, flights can operate. So it's not a fair situation. Do you understand what I'm talking about? It's not fair that, you know, Russians can travel easily using, you know, airplanes, while Ukrainians, they cannot use their own airspace. I mean, in my opinion, this is not fair. I don't know why you don't want to listen to this part. I'm just saying the truth. Ukraine has endured way more suffering than Russia. And it's not a joke. I'm not joking, you know. They cannot use their airspace in Ukraine. So I'm just saying Russia hasn't incurred that much loss. Because in Russia, flights still operate. But in Ukraine, the flights cannot operate. So and imagine the losses that Ukraine incurs, not only territorial and losses of people, but also the economy. And Russia hasn't been affected that bad. So it's not a fair, thing that, I still hear hatred from Russians. Like, what do you want when you already have more people speaking Russian? Even Ukrainians can speak Russian, most of them, but you treat them shit, like they are your subordinate, people, which is wrong to treat them like, they are below you. It's not right. I'm just saying, as a neighbor to the Ukrainian people, I just find it offensive that, some Russians humiliate Ukrainians. It's not nice. So, yeah, I mean, even if you don't care about the economic losses of Ukraine, because most of you are this shallow, paid people by the, propaganda, that the majority, if the majority says something, it must be right. No, it must be propaganda. If something is too much advertised, it's propaganda. So like Russia has a great propaganda machine. So, they make sure that most people would not say, anything about Russia because, they would blame Ukraine for the war. When actually Ukraine endures more losses. But why nobody has sympathy for Ukraine? Because Ukraine has a Jewish president, okay, Zelensky. That's the reason why none of you feel sorry for Ukraine. It's the evil thing that you hate Jews so much that if there is suffering in Ukraine, you turn a blind eye. You don't see it because you hate Jewish people so much that just because Ukraine has a Jewish president, you hate the country, you hate the people. And it's just wrong. It's evil. And I don't know how to say it, more, evidently that this is wrong. The majority is wrong. It's about hatred. The majority has a hatred issue. And they don't want to face it. Oh, we hate them. You say, oh, no, they are bad. They are evil. No. I had been to Ukraine once. Back in 2019, okay, 6 years ago. And the people, they were also speaking Russian. So, and actually I was using Russian language in Ukraine. Я говорила по-русски в Украине. Понимаете? Я говорила по-русски в Украине в 2019 году. Я была в Киеве, и я говорила по-русски. So I'm just saying I was using Russian in Ukraine back then, and nobody was beating me up, and people could speak Russian. So your theory that, Ukrainians, they were treating Russians so horrible and all that, it's a lie. Because I was using Russian language. Я говорила по-русски в Украине. И никто не... как сказать на русском, не знаю. Я знаю английский. So I'm just saying, nobody was beating me up because I was using Russian in Ukraine back then, okay? So the theory that, Ukrainians are so full of hate and all that spite for Russians, that they are not using, Russian language, it's a lie. Because most of them can speak Russian, but they are treated as subordinate. They are not respected by the Russians. I mean, the exceptions, those Russians who have hearts, very few, but those who don't treat their neighbors, in a bad way. Those who don't cheer for war. And that should be the aim, that people should not cheer for war, okay? That should be the aim. Our aim is to reduce wars in the world. That should be the aim. To speak in a kind way and not spread hatred, okay? This should be the aim, not otherwise. So I'm just saying, if you watch my channel, just take it from me, this word. Be kind instead of hating your neighbor, like, because it's crazy. During this live video, I was also using fragments of few Russian words. Why? It's because it's not me who has the hatred. It's some people, who just think, oh, I mean, spread, the message, They twist my words when I don't speak hatred. I'm just saying this is the issue, that some people treat others as below them. And this is the wrong way. What other message? I don't know. I received some odd messages that I don't understand. Ich weiß nicht. I don't know. In German, that's what I can say to you. I don't know what to say to you guys. To stop the hatred that's going on YouTube and on other platforms between, Ukrainians and Russians. What else do you expect from me, from a non-Slavic person, to say? Я не знаю, что вы ожидаете от меня. I don't know what you expect of me. Honestly, what can I do for you to stop hating? Nothing. It's, Satan is in the world, and, the Holy Book, the Bible says, that it's all around us, the Satan, who devours people, who is responsible for all the bad things. And Satan is using people to hate each other. And this is horrible, and I can't stop it. I can't, я ничего не могу делать. Мир, peace, but the people just can't have peace. You know why? Because jealousy and evil is always in people's hearts. So people are not going to love each other. Because imperfection is going to ruin everything. That's why we die. We humans die. We get old, or some people even at young age die. Why? Because of imperfection. We don't deserve, living forever. And I don't want to live forever. If you ask me, do you want to live forever? No. In this ugly world where, I can see hatred, and I also experience bad things myself, I don't want to live forever. I don't care. Nothing. I don't have joy in this world. You think, oh, she's making, videos, and you think I'm happy? No, I just pretend. Because we cannot be sad in this world. We always have to be happy and smile. But actually the world is so ugly, and people's hearts are so ugly because of hatred, Palestinians hate Jews, Jews hate Arabs, like Palestinians, and Ukrainians hate Russians, Russians hate Ukrainians. Bullshit. People should just face out. Well, but actually the thing is, but it's human nature, it's evil, because it cannot be equal, everything equal in the world. And people's nature is what? They want to be better than somebody else, okay? That's bad human nature. So therefore, people compete, who is better and who, and bullshit, And so they hate on each other. It's about hatred, okay? And it's not going to stop. Everything is just going to get worse. I tell you now, it's the recreation of the Great Depression. And the Great Depression was in 1929, when the world economy collapsed. It had collapsed in 1929. It was the Great Depression. And now They are trying to recreate the same situation. Trump is trying to create the Great Depression, recession in the economy, downfall in the economy. He's trying to recreate those same conditions. Hello, welcome to my channel. Where are you from? So I'm just saying, we are reliving the same things. And in the past century, in the 20th century, World War III is going to happen. So it's not only, we had 2 world wars, we are going to have the third one. Because the economic, depression and downfall, people are going to be, out of job and no money, and people are going to hate each other. And we have a lot of people in the world. It's very crowded. So everybody is going to hate on each other. I'm telling you, it starts with economic depression, downfall in the economy, and then the wars come. We already have Ukraine and the Russia war, but also in the Middle East, Israelis and Palestinian Arabs, they fight as well. So it's going to get worse. And why? Because human nature, people cannot share a frigging land, a piece of land. That's why so much hatred. People cannot live to Tajikistan. Oh, really? Wow. Dushanbe. I haven't ever been there, but that's the capital, if I remember. Dushanbe. I haven't been there, but wow. Central Asia. Cool. Central Asia. Wow. Is it warm weather there now in Istanbul? It's rainy, gray weather. It's crappy. It's very crap. The weather is ugly. It's very gray and stuff. So it's like everything. So I see. Oh, okay, that's the capital city. So I'm just saying, the hatred, actually, it's people's choice, They can choose, they hate or they don't hate. It's up to them. It's up to them, and that's the thing. The hatred doesn't stop easily, like Ukrainians and Russians, can they stop the hatred? No. They are people, they are humans. So, they are going to have this difficulty to stop hating until God stops them, like stops Russia to fire missiles and stop Ukraine, from responding to the attack. So wars cannot just stop easily because people are not willing to give up on hatred. And the bad political leadership in the world, they don't think of people, nobody is thinking of people. So if you feel crap about life, there's a reason. As you know, there's a project that the world population should be cut, like decrease, so less people and less people. It's a project, and the political elite is implementing this project. So if you see flooding and droughts and bad stuff and wars in countries, for example in Congo, do you know that in the Democratic Republic of Congo there's a war because Rwanda, neighboring country, supports rebels that take over eastern part of Congo, So actually there's fight between those two countries. And that's the same kind of ugly thing as what happens in Russia and Ukraine. But what do you mean? Do you leave? I don't leave. I mean, what do you mean? I leave for which place? I don't understand what you are trying to ask. I have never been to your country. I'm just saying that. Okay. So I know that it's in Central Asia, but I have not been, to that country. So Anyway, I'm just saying, so in Africa there is war as well. So, and it's just going to get bigger, and it starts with economic depression, downfall, and Trump is helping to achieve this with the tariffs that he is imposing on other countries. He is imposing high tariffs on the EU, the European Union, and China, and all these other places. Why? It's trade wars. So there's no difference between special military operation or special trade operation. There's no difference, because it all leads to the same way. You will see it. You will see that there's going to be bigger war, and people just cannot stop it. So it starts with the money issue between people, and people start to hate each other. Economic depression and downfall. People are going to hate each other more and more. It's the same as what happened in World War II. Prior to that, there was economic depression. In 1929, there was the Great Depression, when the economies across the world fell. So people had lost money and jobs, and they were hopeless, and they were hating each other, and so that created the ground for wars. And then World War II happened. In 1939, it broke out. And we are going to experience the same situation, just number. So yeah, this is what's happening, and we cannot stop. So good luck to people who hope for peace. It's not going to happen, because there's going to be economic downfall more and more. People are going to lose jobs, and the more people, more suffering, and then they manipulate the weather as well. So it's weird weather across the world. Like, some places have drought, some places have flooding, and so all this misery is created that people would lose everything, livelihood, no place to live, and earthquakes. Well, remember in Myanmar, just was it 2 weeks ago already? In Myanmar, there was 2 powerful earthquakes, and the country is obviously still affected by the earthquakes, because many buildings and bridges have collapsed, and over 3,000 people died in Myanmar. So all these things is going to occur more, earthquakes. And where I am now, Istanbul can have earthquake anytime, a very big one. And well, what what do I hope for? Nothing, because the building, it's it's a small flat, actually, rent, but there's no guarantee, and it's on the 7th floor, and it's you cannot, in case of big earthquake, you cannot run out from this floor. But I don't care if I die, it doesn't matter for me. But I'm just saying, the conditions in the world are bad, and people hate each other, because very few people have a lot of money. They have villas and residences in many countries in the world, the very super rich people, and we average people, we barely rent a small crappy place, and the walls are cracked and stuff like that. So it's not like we live in a fancy place. It's just a very basic one. And even I'm just saying that this is the difference between like the people start to hate each other when, because human beings, they are social beings, and they look around who has what, and the hatred comes immediately when somebody has more than the other. And it's just such a awful human nature that people cannot share anything. So it's not like you can I don't know. I have no hope for humanity because this ugly side of humans is not going to change. It's just going to be the same thing. Wars. The wars won't stop. It will just increase, and nobody can stop it. So no matter what language you speak, Russian, если вы говорите по-русски, неважно, войны будет, третий войны, how to say, world war in Russian, I forgot, Mirovichny Viny, anyway, something like that. It's going to happen. So yeah, and it's pointless. I mean, our existence in the world, it's much pointless. Even if you have a great job now, I don't know what guarantees that in few years time you would have a great job still. No guarantee. And it's so futile. Human life is so futile. It's no, we die one day, we don't know when, but it's so futile. It's no point. It's very pointless. Suffering. It's mostly human life is suffering. It's not about happy stuff. And when I see hatred, I just feel, crushed. It's depressing, and I don't like the hatred between, Israelis and Arabs and Ukrainians and Russians. I wish they would not hate each other. Like, this hatred would stop. But I can't do anything for, Shalom. Why are you so different? There is nothing you can do about it. Enjoy life. I'm just reading a comment by someone. There's nothing you can do about it. Enjoy life. Have a good drink. Have a nice meal and try. It's not life, dear. I don't know what. And so what? Life is not about, are you happy? Are you honestly happy when? You may have, I don't know, a super meal. I don't know, you went to a luxury restaurant. But somebody else in the world somewhere is barely having, I don't know, a piece of something. So why are you happy? Why do you say this is the meaning of life? It's not. It's just selfishness, If somebody has luxury, like to the point of so much that you just, and the other person in the world, somewhere in the world, is just, has nothing. So it's not happy. I don't think we can be happy. It wouldn't be fair if the obsession with happiness is wrong, in my opinion. It's you may be paid by somebody to give these comments. You love Instagram and see those models, the beautiful models. They always pose in different clothes, and and you love them. What do they do to deserve that much better life than the rest of us? Just because they are beautiful, it's not. I'm just saying it's a shallow, superficial world, and I hate it. I'm just saying I will, the relief for me would be if I died, because I hate this world. It's an unhappy world. It doesn't care about suffering. And we don't address the issue of suffering of people. So you just advocate for the rich people, that they are, this and that. You just advocate for them. It's not like they are. Why? You are giving me, I don't know, where are you from? But you are just giving me comments like, you love those models, perhaps, You know, those get you know, promoted by Instagram, and they travel to Dubai, and you know, they travel to Dubai, you know, the UAE, and then you know, they share, you know, pictures from Dubai, UAE, or maybe from the Maldives. You know, those models, especially I'm talking about the Russian models, you know, because they are very famous, the Russian models. So they post pictures from the Maldives and stuff like that. And yeah, you advocate for them that yeah, life should be happy like theirs. And you are telling me that I pretend. Then tell those models, you know, who live in the Maldives or in Dubai that, you know, why do you give me remarks when those models, just because they are super beautiful, they get a lot of money and they travel to Dubai and stuff like that? And you are giving me comments that, you know, I pretend. That's the funny part, you know. It just means that, you know, you just want to make me feel down, you know. And the rich people, you just, you know, you just support them. That's the thing. Life is not fair, and we should just get used to that. It's never going to be fair on us. It's going to abuse us, because basically people like abusing others, and that's the sad part. um, so you know, we live in an age, an era, where people just, you know, um, advertise fake happiness, and that's loved. You know, when advertise, you know, people happiness, it's loved. Why? What's so good about that, you know? Those beautiful models in Dubai, why do we have to love them so much? I'm just saying. And don't care about the poor people who don't have jobs and stuff like that. Why is that? Why those people are more precious, you know, more valuable than us? Why? That's what I'm saying. The world is very hypocritical, and it's not going to change. And I disagree, and that, you know, life can be really enjoyed. No, it doesn't give real joy to our hearts when we just acknowledge what's in the world, because the world is very ugly, and the people make it ugly. The people make it ugly. I mean, the world is ugly, but the people make it uglier, because we don't care about each other's, you know, feelings and emotions. We don't respect the other person's emotion. Like, people just care about the rich and beautiful people. That's the only thing. Let it be. I don't care. I mean, if you hate me all of your life, I can't change that, you know. It's up to you. I don't know. Just this live video has made me more depressed than I already have been, you know. Like, so much regret. Like, I was going to say something, you know, in other language, but then when seeing the comments I have received, I just really felt bad. So I didn't share anything about language. Seeing the comments were full of hatred towards me. So I don't know. It's an ugly topic, divorce, and wishing them not to happen. I receive criticism for that. I don't understand why. Wir sprechen von ihm. We are talking about him in German. I suppose ihm means him and ihr means her. But I'm not sure. I don't speak German. Ich kann nicht Deutsch sprechen. So anyway, the world, no matter what language you speak, it's going to be ugly because you don't feel empathy towards another person. And you just look up to the rich people and yeah, they are, good. And you follow what they say. You must be happy, then you are happy. It's the obsession with happiness, the fake stuff. This is admired, and that's why some YouTubers become popular, because they fake it well. They fake the happiness. That's why people who suffer, they never get recognition. And that's the thing. Recognition is not given to those people who suffer. And it's a very ugly topic that, I think my account is followed by both accounts that, they are full of hatred. And so, I receive hatred. But yeah, I send you, flower instead of, the hate that you send me. The both accounts that give me hatred and criticize me all the time, I give you flower. But I know you will hate me all the time, no matter what. This is the thing about people. People are ungrateful and they don't help one another. So, you cannot hope for anything good from people. This is the moral of the lesson. So this video has made me feel more depressed because, I have been criticized for nothing. I was talking to the audience, for a while, and all I have received was, criticism for nothing. And I think I haven't deserved that because I wasn't advocating for more wars, but I was advocating for the opposite. And I was acknowledging suffering of people, people who suffer in Ukraine. I was talking about that. But all I have received was criticism. So yeah, this is the audience that this platform has, and I don't expect anything good. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye.